Shotgun Saturday night. Yes, we're about to party down.
Here he comes.
And, oh my goodness, yes, Paul Bear along with Vader, who was none too pleased, I think, to be on the hunt for Mankind. Nonetheless, Mankind has been found. Vader ready to kick things off here on Shotgun.
These people are just mauling Vader.
And if you think of him being mauled now, wait till you see what happens.
Is he looking over here?
What?
Vince, what's going on?
What do you mean?
What is it? Why he's too close for comfort right now?
Mankind is making his way up. Wait a minute, what?
I've got some things to say. I like how this headphone feels against my missing ear.
What is he doing here?
Have a seat, join us, why don't you?
Oh my God, no.
Thanks.
Well, you can see the man in the ring right now.
That's my friend.
They call Vader last Monday, ladies and gentlemen, on Raw. Watch this. It was you and... Well, I guess anything can happen.
To stop.
What?
It was one of those instinctive things. It all happened so quickly, I had very little time to react.
I see.
Now, he is the man you call Vader, but I'm telling you right now, he's the man I call friend.
You want to talk about a friend? You want to talk about somebody who knows how to kick butt, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, it all started right here at Mirage Nightclub. We are live, and this is the man who took it to the streets for the Nation of Domination. And check out what he has in his right hand. A little equalizer, if you would. Yes, we're talking about Ahmed Johnson.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why would someone so tough as Ahmed Johnson need an equalizer? That board is a sign of a coward, and I know a coward when I see one.
Well, when you consider what has happened to Ahmed Johnson as it relates to the Nation of Domination being outnumbered about 7-1, and here with your presence close to ringside, there with Vader, then wait, whoa, wait a minute, what's this?
What is going on here?
Take it, big man. You see, that's our equalizer. And need I mention to you, Vince McMahon, that we are not the Nation of Domination.
I understand.
And need I mention that Uncle Paul is a man of peace. So for Ahmed Johnson to carry that weapon in here, I say is an automatic disqualification and a disgrace to people like me.
Okay.
Ahmed Johnson with a 2x4, waiting very patiently, ladies and gentlemen. And I think more than anything else, all deference to you, Mr. Mankind, I think Ahmed Johnson is sending a signal that if things get out of hand, the 2x4 will be used. Ahmed Johnson, one of the great new WWF generation members, ladies and gentlemen. And what a matchup to kick things off tonight on Shotgun. Ahmed put to the test, however, in the strength and certainly the weight and the power department. Look at this.
I don't think you can look at the man they call Vader and the man I call friend and put him second in the powerhouse department to anybody.
Well, time will tell. Ahmed against Vader.
See, Ahmed's out here to send out signals. I'm out here because I love this place, Vince, and I think these people love me.
Yes, you stated that. We caught that earlier on, and that remains to be seen as well. Ahmed Johnson against Vader now, locking up, and whoa, quick thumb to the eye there by Vader.
Mistakes happen. Get him, Vader, get him!
And that's exactly what Vader is doing. Look at him moving in, those hard rights and lefts. Vader putting his punches together. Ahmed in the corner, hammering away. Look at Vader, knocking him almost down to the canvas.
If that referee had any half a heart, he would call that match right now because Ahmed Johnson's on Queer Street.
That remains to be seen as well. Ahmed back up on his feet with a little help from Vader. Vader now with Ahmed wide open arm. Arm smash to the chest area.
Hit him for me, big man. One more time for me.
And I think he heard you. Look at him go upstairs, hammering about the ear and the jaw. Vader now. All over Ahmed Johnson in a clothesline, and Ahmed doesn't go anywhere.
Well, he's going down very quickly, I guarantee you. The man they call Vader's been training with Mankind. We're in perfect unison as a team, and I guarantee you Ahmed Johnson's on his way down.
Oh, he looks upset now.
Ahmed yet to go right in.
He went down.
Took him down. There we
No, No one stays up very long, Vince, I tell you that much.
And a most unusual shotgun Saturday night. Another right hand, and I don't understand the strategy as it relates to Ahmed. He must really be rocked. Ahmed perhaps thrown off his game with the presence of you, Mankind, so close to ringside.
I think Ahmed's strategy is to rely on the mercy of Vader. There's only one problem. He has none.
Look at this. And I don't think Ahmed has any either.
Come on.
Ahmed wearing the man they call Vader out. Look at him. Wearing him out. And Ahmed not stopping. Finally, the referee pulls him out.
Yeah, I want to know why Mankind is rocking back and forth like a baby in the fetal position. He's a little uncomfortable out here.
He may have eyes for you, Sonny.
Because I enjoy the fetal
God, don't
position.
even tell me that.
Don't flatter yourself. I've got eyes for that young lady who had eyes for me last week.
And, oh, spine buster. Ahmed Johnson. And a kick to the ribs, to the kidney area, actually. And to the outside
There's
is
no
Vader.
call for that, Vince. I'm going to go in and try to keep the peace here.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't need to go anywhere.
His mind.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute,
This is what we
what's he
expected.
doing?
Mankind, ladies and
Wait a
gentlemen.
minute.
Watch out. Ahmed Johnson now has to contend with Mankind. Look, here comes Mankind in. Mankind over by Vader now. We'll try and figure this all out. The action has stopped in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We'll figure it all out, and we'll be right back as Shotgun continues. Stay with us. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, yes, live from Mirage Nightclub, New York City. We are having a grand old time. However, you can't say the same for Ahmed Johnson. Back with us on commentary is Mankind, who disrupted this match. Finally, action underway again. Oh, my goodness.
Let me ask you this. I know Ahmed Johnson has a pea-sized brain, but what's wrong with his vision? Does it look like I came here to wrestle tonight? I am in my Sunday best because I'm here to get down, to boogie,
this is
and have
Saturday,
a good time.
He's here to boogie, he said.
I'm probably not going to change tomorrow.
And Mankind wanting to party, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Here on Shotgun, and obviously we had a taste of that last week when Mankind was distracted by that rather attractive young lady.
Oh my God, I hope he doesn't want to get distracted tonight. I don't know if I could take it.
You've got to admit,
really don't.
No
you've got
comment.
to admit, even to me, Sonny, that this has all the makings of a good time. Violent, bloodshed, seedy women, loud music, sex. It's got Mankind written all over it.
Well, your point of view is Ahmed Johnson and Vader.
I think Ahmed Johnson's head has Vader's hands written all over it. Yeah!
And down to the canvas, Ahmed Johnson, and Vader is pummeling Ahmed, and this has not been a succession of good weeks for Ahmed Johnson. Here in New York City, Madison Square Garden, oh my goodness, Savio Vega turning his back on Ahmed Johnson. The nation of joining the nation of domination. Savio, of course, joins us later. And look at this, Vader now. Look out, here it comes, the Vader bomb.
This is
Oh, wait a minute. No, he's gonna waste way too much time. And Ahmed Johnson doing what he has to do.
Which was strictly illegal, I might add.
Of course, you entering the ring earlier and distracting Ahmed, that was not illegal at all.
I was trying to keep the peace. You see that Ahmed Johnson threw the first blow in anger.
And a headbutt by Vader.
But I guarantee you one thing, when the man they call Vader and the man I call friend gets in the ring with Mankind, as a tag team, there's going to be some heads are going to roll.
Yes, and oh yes, beautiful kick there to the rib area by Ahmed Johnson. And there has been a concerted effort on Paul Bearer's part to join Vader. Look out in Mankind. Here it goes, Pearl River plunge. Oh, wait a minute. Mankind is left. Mankind grabs a chair. Mankind now goes. Oh, he got him. No, he didn't. No. And Vader now. Oh, look at Vader setting up Ahmed Johnson. Look at this. Ahmed's going to be down. No. Oh, Ahmed Johnson has a chair. Oh,
there we go.
Nailing Vader. Ahmed Johnson with that chair. And Ahmed is cleaning house in there.
Woo!
Ahmed Johnson cleaning house, an obvious disqualification.
Did you get the win?
Oh.
But yet Mankind is infatuated with this headset. Ladies and gentlemen, the result of this match. Obviously, Ahmed Johnson victorious as a result of a disqualification. And
what is he doing?
ladies and gentlemen, who knows what's going to happen tonight on Shotgun Saturday night?
Is my mind deceiving me, or is Ahmed Johnson the man who used that chair as an act of violence?
We'll be right back. Stay with
Justice
us.
was not done.
It's time! It's time!
And it's also time for Ken Shamrock to recognize the fact that he's entered Vader's domain. He may have conquered Ultimate Fighting, but this is a whole new world of abuse and punishment that's about to be dished out by the hands of the angry gorilla Vader. And JR, I gotta tell you, you don't look too happy over there. Did you have an unsettling meal or something before the show?
Well, I don't know how judicious the WWF is.
Let's face it,
have
it's
this
not
guy
the
here tonight.
sacrificial lamb. This is worse than being fed to the wolves.
Yeah, I'm not too, he's not on my Christmas card list.
Are you sure you don't want to leave ringside?
Got a job to do.
Scared. It's like you left something in your pants last week when that big gorilla grabbed you by the throat.
That was funny, huh?
That was great.
Except in my position. I'm not a...
I would have been stupid enough to put myself in that position.
Somebody's got to ask these questions. They're legitimate questions. Still think he's a bully. That's all he is. He's a bully. He's a danger.
Go to his face. Come on, get up and say it again.
Well, I'm not stupid.
That's the understatement of the year.
Well, I don't know why he's signed to be on this program. I'm not too comfortable being out here, quite frankly. But we'll do our job.
You shouldn't be comfortable. You're scared. Well, I can't say that on the air, but...
Well, Willie Schultz the one that should be scared. He's got to be giving up at least 200 pounds to this bully.
This is going to be like Tiger Woods chopping up Augusta National. You know that golf's a funny game, Ross. You tell one bad joke, you may never golf again. You murder two people in cold blood, and you get to play every day.
That from Fuzzy Zeller, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is... I don't understand...
Speaking of Fuzzy, look at the dew on this geek.
Look at the matchmaking here leaves a little bit to be desired. And certainly when Ken Shamrock in a no-holds-barred fight... Oh, my goodness. Powerbomb. Ken Shamrock and Vader, a no-holds-barred fight next Sunday night in Richmond, Virginia, is going to be something special.
Jerry, you seem to have a problem with Vader's style. He's a dominating athlete. What's your problem?
All he is a bully, that's what I'm telling you. Vader has had bigger buffets than this guy. Vader had more on his...
Back it up.
He had more on his plate than this guy weighs.
Well, why don't you
What a
beat the
mismatch.
dessert?
I'm just saying, it's a mismatch.
And you and him would be a bigger mismatch, Ross.
Well, you're right about that. Thank God for the Willie Schultz family that this one is over with. Ken Shamrock's not a mismatch with Vader. That matchup on pay-per-view is next Sunday night, and I guarantee you one thing. It will be physically intense in the Richmond, Virginia Coliseum on Sunday night, May the 11th. Oh, my.
Come on.
What do you want?
I think you got some unsettled business with this.
I have no business with him at all. Yeah, tough guy.
I'm too interested in jumping
That's
up
not
there.
my job,
making
Brian.
a statement.
That's not my job.
What's that sweat beating up on your brow there, Ross?
Well, he's intimidating. He's a bully. He's dangerous. That's what he is.
You want to answer tough questions, but boy, when you get a little too close to the spotlight, it gets hot for you.
Domination! Domination!
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Shotgun Saturday Night. I'm Jim Ross here at ringside with the loose cannon Brian Pillman. And here comes the Nation of Domination, and this should be a six-man tag team war. Brian, we're going to see Faarooq Crush and Savio Vega take on the new teammates. We're talking about Mankind, Vader, and the WWF Champion, The Undertaker. That is a 6-man tag team dream match as we kick off Shotgun Saturday night.
What an interesting trio that is. Vader, Mankind, and Undertaker. I wonder what that secret is.
I'm sure not much
to bring a 6'10" phenom to his knees, groveling. It's got to be one hell of a secret.
There you look at Faarooq, the man that will meet The Undertaker at the King of the Ring for the WWF title.
And the man they call Vader.
Mankind, the subject of my interview series that will continue this Monday on Raw, along with the 458-pound Vader. I don't think these two guys get along that great either, but be that as it may, the atmosphere in the locker room with their teammate, The Undertaker, must be a chilly one, Brian.
It's got to be stone cold. Well, why should I give any credence to my former partner and friend that I'm going to be paying tribute to later on in this show? But Paul Bearer he's got to be the greatest manager in the history of this sport.
Well, that's a pretty big statement. There's been a lot of great managers, and certainly Paul Bearer.
I say that unequivocally. I mean, let's face it. Who else could take the world title holder, The Undertaker, and whisper something into his ear and bring him back under his wing?
Tremendous ovation for the Phenom, the WWF Champion, The Undertaker, and for the first time in quite some time, we will see Paul Bearer accompany The Undertaker to the ring. These two men traveled together. They were inseparable for 6 years, but due to Paul Bearer's unique blackmail scheme, The Undertaker is back under Paul Bearer's tutelage, and I'm sure that to say The Undertaker is reluctant would be a major understatement. To say that The Undertaker totally despises Paul Bearer perhaps would be more accurate.
Come on, Ross, this isn't extortion. They had a little falling out. They've made amends. There's a bond there they developed over the 6 years. It's got nothing to do with blackmail.
Paul Bearer's appearance certainly has changed.
Gotta love that new hairstyle and color.
Well, he got burned in the face. I guess that's the result of the makeover. And The Undertaker here. And with an explosion.
Look at that show of solidarity. Mankind and Vader are opening the ropes up for Undertaker.
This should be quite a 6-man matchup. Well, so you really think that Paul Bearer has pulled it off? I tend to agree with you.
I really admire Paul Bearer. I love a man that takes pride in his blackmail ability. Just think of what kind of skeleton is in that closet. Boy, it's got to be a doozy.
You just got to wonder exactly what The Undertaker wants to keep hidden. To join forces with Paul Bearer and to be teammates with Vader and Mankind, that secret has got to be reprehensible.
Well, I hope it's not on par with Ellen DeGeneres or Eddie Murphy.
No, I wouldn't think it has anything to do with that subject matter, but I can understand where your mind travels.
Or let's hope it doesn't match up with any of your reprehensible misgivings. After all, you are the Marv Albert of the WWF.
I don't resemble that Mark whatsoever. And look at the Paul Bearer waddling over to the timekeeper to take possession of the WWF title. It's almost as if Paul Bearer considers himself the WWF champion.
Well, he should. Who put him on the road to greatness? Who was there to support him all those years? Who developed the winning game plan? Who's the one that gave him that incredible drive to be a champion? It was Paul Bearer and no one else.
Paul Bearer hasn't broken a sweat unless you see him at a buffet table. He's hideous. And the hatred that the Undertaker must hold for Paul Bearer has got to be completely off the charts, as a Mankind, as we know, born Mick Foley. We'll talk about his ascension.
We got to hear more of that heartwarming, sentimental garbage you've been spewing out the last couple weeks in your little up-close and personal package.
Well, we're going to see how Mankind became Cactus Jack this Monday night on Raw. Side headlock now, Mankind and Savio Vega. Savio Vega, a member of the Nation of Domination. And from what we understand, there's a cover. Mankind going for the quick victory here. From what we understand, all is not hunky-dory in the camp of the Nation of Domination either, with Faarooq putting so much pressure on his constituents as the time draws near for the King of the Ring, when Faarooq attempts to become the first black WWF champion.
Don't forget about Mankind and Savio this Monday.
Yeah, that's the final King of the Ring first round matchup, and Mankind out here in no man's land.
And I tell you, if you want to cut to the chase on Mankind and how he became this vile character, I'll tell you, he dropped a handful of acid at a Haight-Ashbury party.
Oh, come on. How dare you? He's always been a little bit eccentric.
He's a big fan of Jerry Garcia's as well.
And Vader from the outside with a little assistance there from Mankind. We have yet to see the reluctant tag team partner. Look at the Undertaker there by himself down in the middle of the ropes. Vader and Mankind staying away from the Undertaker, even though they are now teammates, all under the managerial genius, if you will, of Paul Bearer. And look at Vader try to tag in the Undertaker, who walks away, while Mankind gets the cheap shot on Savio Vega.
Well, Paul just told him there not to go in. The timing wasn't right.
Paul Bearer having some words with the Undertaker as Savio Vega fights back, makes the tag into the man who wants to be the first black WWF champion in history. Hard forearm, a clothesline by Faarooq.
Is Faarooq still making those plaintive wails of racism?
Yeah, he's talking about that particular aspect, which I don't think really belongs on this particular forum, but be that as it may, I guess is exercising his First Amendment rights. Six-man tag team action here on Shotgun Saturday night as Crush and Vader. It was scheduled to be Crush and Vader in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. That match did not take place due to some injuries sustained by Vader at the hands of Ken Shamrock. And now Vader again trying to tag in the Undertaker. What's going to happen here? We'll find out when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to Shotgun Saturday Night. Jim Ross and Brian Pillman here at ringside. This is six-man tag team action. The Nation of Domination with their leader Faarooq, along with Savio Vega and Crush, meeting the unlikely trio, the teammates of the WWF champion, The Undertaker, the man called Vader, and Mankind.
You claim Faarooq's been pushing these guys too hard, but look, he's getting the results. They've been given a wake-up call. Look at the precision and timing they've had in this match thus far.
The Undertaker being admonished by the official, and here comes Mankind now.
Here comes Mick Foley from East Central High School, jumping off the roof of his friend's house.
And look at the attack now, Vader like a big grizzly bear on Savio Vega.
Oh, some grizzly bear he is. What's he going to be out with next? A hangnail?
He was in the most physical battle with Ken Shamrock.
Got outweighed by 100 pounds.
The kind of battle you may be in at the King of the Ring, and there's a great move by Savio Vega on Mankind, and the first time that we are seeing Paul Bearer's three charges together. And there's a cheap shot by Vega on The Undertaker. We have yet to see The Undertaker and Faarooq lock up here in this six-man tag matchup. And look at Mankind get mugged in the corner. Mankind is getting hammered from pillar to post here. But I think we can both agree, Brian, that
he loves it. He loves the pain and humiliation. And I predict he'll give up any minute now.
What do you mean by that? He's fighting for all he's got.
Mick Foley's getting his ass kicked. That is his name now, right?
Yeah.
Now that we've gone through the whole
I think we're going to
lineage.
still call him Mankind if it's okay with you. Can we call you Brian Pillman? Or would you like
That's my real name.
Loose Cannon?
Although I am a loose cannon, I prefer to go by Brian Pillman. That's what everybody knows me as since I'm so famous.
You're more famous than Bob Trumpy and skinny Chris Collinsworth there in
That's
Cincinnati,
right.
aren't you?
And Jerry Springer. And all the other great icons that have come out of the greater Cincinnati area.
Marc shot. A lot of good folks there. And, well, Mankind looking to make a tag. And Undertaker just took a cheap shot at his own teammate there.
He's just trying to toughen him up.
Well, there's no love lost between Vader and Mankind as it relates to the Undertaker. And Mankind seems to be a little disoriented, nothing new there. And Faarooq buries the right hand. I kind of like to see the Undertaker. Oh, there's a low blow, and the referee had his back turned. And there's a tag.
A kahuna shot.
Mankind, after that Galata, downstairs on Faarooq. And look at Faarooq. He's hustling to the corner. Savio Vega's in. The WWF champion with all that venom and rage, taking it out on the Nation of Domination, but it's Faarooq that the Undertaker wants.
And it's Faarooq that the Undertaker's gonna get. That's if Paul Bearer wants it that way.
And the Undertaker with a very physical tag on Vader. Now Vader and the Undertaker having words. Wait a minute, there's a cradle. 1, 2, 3. I can't believe the Nation of Domination wins this matchup. And now Paul Bearer has got a fight in his own camp. Paul Bearer's own locker room, so to speak, is being torn down.
There should be a fight in his own camp. Vader getting pinned by a weak, small package. What a joke.
And how long is...
Do what you're told.
I wish Vader would do what he's told. Fight like a man for a change.
We gotta feel bad for the Undertaker. Almost a man without a country now. The Undertaker forced to be under the wing of Paul Bearer. The Undertaker forced to be teammates with Vader and Mankind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, don't go away. Still to come. We're going to have highlights of...
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to WWF New York. On New York 55 WLNY, there's Hunter in China heading to the ring for this 20-man Battle Royal.
And the ring is going to be filling up, Michael, with superstars, 20 men, all fighting to be the king of the hill.
There they are, New Jersey's own, the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, getting ready for the Battle Royal.
Can you imagine these guys walk the governor to the ring at SummerSlam?
Michael Cole along with James E. Cornette Jr. a much-deserved vacation after that tremendous event at the Continental Airlines Arena, SummerSlam this past Sunday. Jim, it was so unbelievable.
It was so unbelievable, they put JR away.
Representing the Nation of Domination.
And here they come, Faarooq and D'Lo heading down the ramp. What a battle royal. The Los Periquas are in there. We'll see the Godwinns, a whole host, 20 superstars from the World Wrestling Federation.
What's going to be a point you got to watch is that there's 2 members of the Nation, 2 members of DOA, and 2 members of Los Periquas. And here comes the man from the sand, the Sultan.
And don't forget at SummerSlam, you mentioned Bret Hart, the new World Wrestling Federation champion for a 5th time. What a reception he received at the Toronto Pearson International Airport last Tuesday.
Well, I've said before, Canada doesn't have that many heroes, so they got to make the most out of what they've got. But in this case, Bret Hart got a godlike reception from the fans in Canada.
Listen to the reception for this man, Del Wilkes, the Patriot. He has a title matchup against Bret the Hitman Hart September 7th. WWF Ground Zero in your house, Louisville, Kentucky. The Patriot against the Hitman.
The Patriot has made a tremendous splash in his short tenure in the WWF. But here's a man who's made a splash for the past dozen years in the WWF, the British Bulldog.
The European champion. What a show we have for you on WWF New York this week. The Battle Royal to kick things off as you hear the ovation for Mankind. victorious over Hunter Hearst Helmsley at SummerSlam at the Continental Airlines Arena in that big cage match.
And he got to fulfill his childhood dream of doing a super fly dive off the top of the cage onto a very unlucky Mr. Helmsley.
And I'll tell you what, this Monday night on Raw, Mankind will have his hands full. A rematch against Shawn Michaels.
Wait a minute. What time is it? What time is it? It's time for Paul to get out from in front of the camera.
There he is. It's Vader time. What a battle royal. There are some major superstars in the ring for this event. What a show we have for you. A major show here in WWF New York.
How I love to watch him strut.
Jerry the King Lawler will interview Marc, Mero, and Savio. Also, newcomer Tiger Ali Singh will be here. And listen to the ovation for that man. The world's most dangerous man. Ken Shamrock, and I understand new Commissioner Sergeant Slaughter may be looking at some actions at Shamrock because of what he did at SummerSlam.
Well, he went berserk. Not only did he hold that submission maneuver on the British Bulldog past the bell, but he suplexed 3 or 4 referees, a couple of WWF officials. He went nuts, cleared the whole ring out.
Here we go, the Battle Royal now underway here on WWF New York. Sergeant Slaughter, the new commissioner here in the World Wrestling Federation. He has been appointed to aid President Gorilla Monsoon to try to bring some law and order back to the WWF.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear that interview with Lawler interviewing Marc, Mero, and Sable. They'll have a nice conversation if they don't interrupt the King.
Here's a double team now, Los Periquas on Ken Shamrock. Let's talk about the rules of this Battle Royal for a moment, Jim. Basically, how are you eliminated?
To be eliminated from the Battle Royal, you have to be thrown over the top rope, and both feet have to touch the floor. If both feet don't touch the floor and you're able to pull yourself back in the ring, then you can continue.
Phineas, Godwinn unloading on the Patriot.
You're going to see some strange alliances and some strange enemies in a Battle Royal. A lot of times, you're just going after whoever's in front of you. You don't even have time to notice who you're fighting. So you're going to see friend against friend and foe against foe.
A whole cast of characters outside the ring. Honky Tonk Man, along with the Iron Sheik, China, and Paul Bearer. Look at this, a rematch of SummerSlam, the Bulldog and Shamrock, and there's Faarooq getting involved.
And Bulldog is trying to dump Shamrock, but Shamrock is holding on to Bulldog like a bulldog.
Look at Mankind hanging onto the ropes in the corner. Shamrock maybe going out. Faarooq pushing both men out. Both the Bulldog and Shamrock are out of the ring. They're out of the Battle Royal. The first 2 eliminated.
Gotta be a disappointment for Shamrock. He was one of the favorites in this no-holds-barred environment, but there are no favorites. There can be no best pick at a Battle Royal. It comes down in large part to luck and who you're able to stay away from.
Is there any strategy, Jim, to being in one of these events?
There sure is. Stay away from everybody. And it's difficult at best when there's so many guys in the ring. But you need to stay away, stay close to the ropes, stay low, and don't go off your feet, especially if somebody's picking you up.
So you would do well in one of these events. You like to stay away from the competition out there.
I like to stay away from everybody. As a matter of fact, the only safe place to Battle Royal is underneath the ring.
Mankind.
We're not even safe out here.
Mankind, though, pounding away at the Sultan. Look at this. Los Periquas now, Faarooq, everybody getting involved in it. Here's the double team by the Nation in one corner. And here's another double team, the Sultan and Phineas working on Mankind.
I know one guy that's not in this Battle Royal we thought would be Stone Cold Steve Austin, Michael. He is still under a doctor's care. That neck injury that he suffered against Owen Hart.
I can't believe it.
I couldn't believe.
There goes Sal Sincere, tossed out by the Patriot.
I couldn't believe the force of that pile driver. Austin with a history of neck problems. Of course, he'll wrestle through anything, even if he's got an arrow in his chest. The question is when the doctors will allow him to wrestle again.
That injury, of course, occurring at the Continental Airlines Arena during SummerSlam. Owen Hart says after he delivered the pile driver, he realized that Austin was hurt. He showed compassion for a moment. That allowed Austin to roll him up and win the Intercontinental Championship. And as you mentioned, Stone Cold Steve Austin seeing a spinal specialist to try to find out what this injury is and how he can prevent it in the past. And there goes D'Lo Brown. Mankind lifting D'Lo out of the ring. He's out of the Battle Royal.
I'll tell you where Owen made his mistake. He turned his back and he hot dogged for the fans. He could have beaten Steve Austin in that situation, but as it was, Austin, almost paralyzed, managed to roll Owen Hart up and catch the pin and the Intercontinental title.
Hunter now trying to toss Thrasher out of the ring, but he pops back in. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Uncontrollable. Many of these men now in the ring. There's Faarooq and Mankind in the corner working on Phineas, and there goes the Brooklyn Brawler.
Courtesy of Headbanger Mosh. And now, wait a minute, there goes Headbanger Mosh.
He's hanging on. He's hanging on. Now Thrasher now working on Triple H. There goes Miguel Perez of Los Boricuas. He's out now.
They're dropping like flies, Michael. Boy, I'll tell you what. Right, this looks like one of those traffic jams after the Garth Brooks concert.
Oh.
They're everywhere. They're driving everywhere. I got an idea for the people in New York, the whole area, New Jersey, Connecticut too.
Yeah.
Go to Kentucky and take driving lessons. Learn how to drive. While you're at it, learn some manners too.
We will be in Kentucky, of course. Louisville, Kentucky. There they go. Savio, Vega,
And you better be on your best behavior.
Out of the ring. What's that for the In Your House? Here we go now. Savio, Vega, and Crush going at it. There's Miguel Perez. Los Boricuas. We'll be back with WWF New York in just a minute. Welcome back to WWF New York. Michael Cole and Jim Cornette. This is what happened to the Battle Royal when we were gone. The Godwinns being tossed out. There goes Rockabilly. Oh man, and also Thrasher and Mosh from the Headbangers tossed out as well.
There was a lot of action in the break, but we have action here now as we're left with Mankind, Vader, Helmsley, Sultan, and the Patriot.
And here we go now. Triple H working on Mankind. Of course, Mankind won that big steel cage match at SummerSlam, defeating Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Do you think this feud is ever going to be settled?
I don't think you can ever settle anything on Helmsley's part until he wins. And I don't think you can ever settle anything on Mankind's part at all. But I know that Mrs. Foley's baby boy got to fulfill his childhood dream of coming off the top of that cage a la Jimmy Superfly Snuka onto a very unlucky Mr. Helmsley.
Mankind now, look at this, setting him up. There it is, DDT. Helmsley in trouble in the center of the ring. Man, that was some event, that steel cage matchup. SummerSlam overall was tremendous at the Continental Airlines Arena. Over 20,000 fans there to watch it live.
Look at the Patriot.
Here's the Patriot now unloading on Vader and the Sultan. The Patriot, Del Wilkes. Oh, the Sultan knocking him quickly to the canvas.
Right in the throat. The Sultan, as Patriot turned, he was fighting both of them off, and the Sultan caught him in the throat.
There's Mankind now trying to toss Hunter Hearst Helmsley over the top rope. Look out for China. Here she comes.
Well, China is going to be there to give Helmsley some immoral support. As he's about to go over the top, China looks like she's going to try and catch him.
The Triple H still on the apron now as Mankind hammers away with that big left foot. Over in the other corner, Vader trying to toss Sultan out. There's the boot underneath the chin. Oh, that's pleasant.
Oh, boy.
And that's real nice. As Mankind puts the boot underneath the chin of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
This is New York. That kind of stuff goes on here all the time.
And they don't spit tobacco down in your neck of the woods?
Not that far, they don't.
There we go now.
Ooh.
Sultan and Vader pounding away in the corner. The Patriot getting a little breather now. Now Mankind goes over. Del Wilkes and Mankind are going to try to hammer away now on Triple H. Trying to toss the King of the Ring, the 1997 King of the Ring, out of the ring. And what a foot that time from Sultan to Vader.
Well, it looks like Sultan and Vader are at each other's throats, whereas moments ago they were partners in crime. But now the Patriot and Mankind trying to get Helmsley out. They're like I said earlier, there's no favorites in a battle royal. You can never tell who's going to have the luck and the stamina to last. But all these guys have got to be just about exhausted.
Big chop that time to the Sultan from the Patriot. All right, Mankind now going over the top rope. He's in trouble. Whoa, what a clothesline.
Patriot levels Vader. Can you believe it?
Oh, another one to the Sultan. Man, the Patriot cleaning house, and here's Mankind now. Triple H returning the favor with the boot underneath Mankind's chin.
I don't know what'll happen if his head touches the ground and it's not still connected to both feet. I'm not sure whether that would mean Mankind would be eliminated or not.
Sultan now, after the low blow, taking over, taking control from the Patriot. Here's Mankind off the ropes. Ooh, a big elbow. Mankind down in the center of the ring. Jim, we were talking about SummerSlam, and Ryan Shattuck.
I heard you and JR were talking about that earlier.
We were earlier.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Ryan Shattuck, the 12-year-old, and Patrick Stevenson, they won the DZ $1 million chances. We see now the Sultan put the sleeper on the Patriot. They had that trip to SummerSlam. They had a chance to win $1 million. They didn't have the correct key to open up the coffin with all that money, but they did win $5,000 savings bonds. It was great for everybody involved. There goes Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Mankind, though, hangs on. He's still involved in the Battle Royal. Here's Vader. Oh, see you later.
Uh-oh.
Mankind out of the ring.
He hit the floor. He's gone. He's out of here. And look at the Patriot.
Oh!
Patriot is left with Vader at 450, the Sultan at 330, and it looks like they've declared a truce again to work together against the man from Columbia, South Carolina.
The Patriot, Del Wilkes, former college football star, All-American at the University of South Carolina. Listen to the chant from this crowd now. USA, USA, as the Patriot tries to figure some way to get out of what's going to be a double team.
This guy in barely 3 weeks in the WWF, he's defeated Bret Hart by pinfall. He has defeated the Sultan.
Look
He has
out.
caused a big stir wherever he's gone. The fans love him, and now he's a whirling dervish. But 2 men against 1 will tell every time. The Patriot has a tremendous challenge ahead of him to win this thing.
He has a tremendous challenge as well. September 7th, Louisville, Kentucky, WWF Ground Zero in your house. A title shot against Bret the Hitman Hart. The Patriot off the rope. Double clothesline. There's the Sheik now. The Sheik is up on the apron of the ring.
He hit the Sheik.
Big left hand.
Here goes Sultan. There he goes.
He's out of the ring. Here comes Vader now.
Swinging a miss. No.
Big clothesline. Vader's out. The Patriot wins the 20-man Battle Royal. What a victory for the Patriot, Del Wilkes, here on WWF New York.
Chalk another one up for the red, white, and blue. He's on a march to the World Wrestling Federation Championship match. He's a phenomenon in the WWF. He is the Patriot, and so far, nobody's been able to stop him.
Bret the Hitman Hart, of course, the now 5-time WWF champion, defends the title September 7th against the Patriot. Let's take you now back to Raw from this past week. Bret and JR.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time! The following contest is scheduled for one fall to a 20-minute on the match. About to approach the ring, accompanied by Paul Mero from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 458 pounds, the man they call Vader!
Well, Paul Bear ain't no Bill Parcells.
Of course not. Paul Bear's nowhere near as big as the big tuna fish or whatever.
Vader, big and a big, 458 pounds in a big matchup this Monday night on Raw. He'll take on the Patriot. The Patriot just may well be the next WWF champion. And what a night it's going to be this Monday night on Raw. Atlantic City Convention Center is going to be smoking. And certainly China was breathing fire about 3 weeks ago when Helmsley and Vader were set to go one-on-one. Watch China. She says, I want you, Vader. What do you think she meant by that, James E?
I don't know whether she meant athletically or romantically. What do you think, JR?
From Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing 226 pounds, the 1997 King of the Ring, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
China certainly not intimidated by the presence of the Mastodon and the reigning King of the Ring, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who, according to some sources, may be joining forces with Shawn Michaels on a full-time basis. That's the rumor that's floating around out there. We know this Monday in Atlantic City, it will be Helmsley and Shawn in tag team action against the Undertaker and Mankind. That is going to be awesome.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, joining forces with Shawn Michaels full-time these days means about 3 more weeks, because after Ground Zero, I don't know whether anybody will be able to join Shawn or his pieces back together again after the Undertaker gets a hold of him.
Of course, we've heard so much speculation about the Undertaker's brother, Kane. When we'll see Kane.
Paul Bearer, I talked to him earlier, and he said Kane's coming soon. So you better watch out, because I'm on Paul's good side, you know.
You guys have a lot in common.
We sure do. We're both very, very excellent managerial brains.
Same pant size.
Hey, Paul, I told him Kane's coming soon. I told him Kane's going to be here. You just make sure that you remember I'm on your side, Paul, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I've always liked you.
You guys are a good pair. You're a good pair.
Kane's coming, I told him.
He's a liar, and you're next to him.
I'm next to you, too.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself to even associate with that thug.
Let me tell you something. He's a fine, upstanding mortician.
And next year, he'll be the favorite to win the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Big bulbous. Oh, there's a lot of power there by Vader.
Boy, I'll tell you what, for a man with jowls like yours, you sure do throw those weight slurs around regularly.
I'm proud of my jowls. A lot of biscuits and gravy when you can find it up here. Hunter Hearst Helmsley's got to use his quickness and his finesse, his technique against this monster. Whoa! Ooh! Nice little sidestep there by Helmsley, using Vader's own weight to get the Mastodon up. Oh, look out! Watch it! Oh! That rather ample derriere headed straight south. And now, oh, the clothesline! And Vader on the outside.
A miscalculation by Vader led to a charge by Helmsley, and now Vader is on the floor where the China syndrome may take over. But Vader is not above punching a woman in the face.
Vader a little bit dazed here, but catches Helmsley coming in with a kick to the midsection. There's a right hand. And now Vader measuring. Here he comes. Look, oh! Vader caught nothing but steel, and Helmsley showing a very aggressive streak here this week on WWF New York.
That steel is not going to give, and sometimes you think neither will Vader's head. It takes a lot to put him down, but Helmsley's on a roll, and if he can keep this up, he may have the key to the match. Watch it.
The former All-American offensive lineman for the University of Colorado just blocked the steel steps.
I think the steel steps blocked Vader myself, and Paul Bearer has got to get the game plan back on track for his man, or this one could be over with.
Vader back in the ring, followed closely behind by Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Helmsley from nearby Fairfield County in Connecticut, in Greenwich, and look at the slam! Oh, Helmsley has really turned it up a notch here. Helmsley with that Harley race-like knee drop. It's going to be over. No, wait a minute.
Is Ravishing Rick Rude here to stay in the World Wrestling Federation? And what's his relationship with the Heartbreak Kid? Get the scoop on option 3 of the WWF Superstar line, The Ross Report. Just call 1-900-7374-WWF. The call costs $1.49 per minute, and kids under 18 must have parents' permission before calling.
This one-on-one match continues. Vader and Hunter Hearst Helmsley here on WWF New York. And look at this move right here. Ooh! Oh, Vader splash. And Helmsley just barely able to get a shoulder up.
And speaking of the shoulder, now that we're back from the break, Vader is working on that shoulder with the Fujiwara armbar, trying to apply the submission maneuver to the blue blood. Ask him, he says.
Vader looking for the submission, trying to hyperextend the elbow. Greenwich, Connecticut's own Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Boy, both these guys have such tremendous matches coming up this Monday. Vader going up against the Patriot. Helmsley in that unbelievable tag team match. You got to think they're taking too much out of themselves in this contest, JR.
Well, that's a good point. It is going to be a war zone and a half in Atlantic City this Monday night. And body shots up and down, the head, the body. And now that the pace has slowed somewhat, Vader has found himself back in firm control.
That's exactly what Vader needs. That's the whole key to Vader winning a match. He establishes his pace and he sticks to it. He plows ahead like a freight train. You got to derail him.
Hello, another splash. And Vader, no! Well, Vader left the left shoulder of Helmsley exposed, and Helmsley able to turn just enough to prevent the 3 count.
Is she worried? You can never tell.
I don't know. She's a dangerous woman. More dangerous than most women, as a matter of fact. 200-pound bodyguard of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and there's a belly-to-belly suplex. That should be all. And Vader has not gone for the cover, and that may be a mistake.
Look at Helmsley looking around for the ropes, trying to find out where they are so he can pull himself to his feet. He didn't even know which part of the ring he was in.
Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, look at Paul Bear. Paul Bear waddling up on the apron, and Paul Bear, a little soul right on the ample beak of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
But wait a minute. Paul, get your running shoes back on, because here comes China. China's coming around the ring.
Paul Bear doesn't want any part of China, and maybe vice versa, and the end is near for Helmsley. The Vader bomb is coming up. Wait a minute, here comes China, and downstairs. A Galata from China, way south of the waistline.
Look at Vader's face, the pain on his face, he was frozen. She low-bridged him there. Can you believe that China would attack a man like Vader? Be thankful, China, that Vader wasn't looking at you.
Disqualification, the man they call Vader.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's
It's in New Haven, Connecticut tomorrow night. It could be Atlantic City Monday night, or of course the hallowed halls of Madison Square Garden on Monday night, September 22nd. Don't miss live WWF action for Chainz. I'm JR. So long, everybody.
Speaking of the mastodon from the Rocky Mountains, here he comes, the man they call Vader, tuning up for the flag match at WWF Bad Blood. 458 pounds, Vader, the new ally of the Patriot Del Wilkes. I guess only one thing in common, love for America, actually two things, their hatred for the Hart Foundation.
Well, that's right, Michael. In this past week, we saw Bret Hart and the British Bulldog challenge the Headbangers for the WWF Tag Team title. Bulldog and Bret had thought they had won the belts, but they pinned the illegal man, so they decided if they couldn't beat the Headbangers, they'd just beat them up, and then Vader and Patriot hit the scene.
They hit the scene all right. Vader went to work on Bret Hart, the Patriot going to work on the British Bulldog, sending a message to the Hart Foundation that Vader and the Patriot are set for the flag match at WWF Bad Blood in St. Louis.
And when these four men collide, only two will walk out as someone is going to have to capture their country's flag and wave it high to win that match. And Patriot and Vader plan on it being Old Glory.
I'll tell you what, Jim, talking about collisions, this matchup will be a collision. 458-pound Vader, 300-pound Sultan going at it in the middle of the ring. Talking about the Hart Foundation, I'm sure they're going to be in the house. Madison Square Garden this Monday. Bret Hart at one point in time called it his house. I wonder if Vader's going to have anything to say about that.
Well, if Madison Square Garden is Bret's house, then Vader's going to be guilty of some breaking and entering, just like he's trying to break everything in Sultan's face right now. He's hitting Sultan so hard, he's going to close what's open and open what's closed.
Vader going to work now on the Sultan, Jim. I'll tell you what, I cannot wait for Raw is War in the Garden on Monday. If you haven't got your tickets yet, we may have some good news. We're going to be giving you a phone number a little later on in the program. There may be some seats available come Monday because the WWF production crew is moving in this weekend. We may have some seats available, so we'll find out on Monday.
Oh!
What a move by Vader off the second rope.
Boy, I'm going to tell you what, this Vader is more powerful, meaner, more aggressive than we've seen him in a long time. And believe me, I know Vader real well. You know, the thing is, he's not friends with the Patriot. He doesn't want any man to like him, but he demands that every man respect him and that all his opponents fear him. And the one thing, like you said, that he and Patriot have in common is that they're both Americans, and they hate the Hart Foundation.
Here's a cover. There's two. The Sultan gets that right shoulder up. You see the Iron Sheik at ringside. He's been working with the Sultan over the past few months.
And once again, you can never tell about Vader. He's a time bomb waiting to go off. He's very combustible. He's got he's got a short fuse. And if you make this guy mad, anything can happen. I wouldn't be the Hart Foundation in their shoes, but also Patriot better carry his end of the load.
We were speaking of Ahmed Johnson a little bit earlier. He returns from his injury. He's back in action in the Intercontinental Tournament at Raw this Monday. It was Ahmed Johnson who put the Sultan out of commission for a few months, injuring his ribs back in the spring. Vader now being raked across the top of that rope by the man from the Middle East. The Sultan giving the man they call Vader a battle this week.
Well, right now, you know, Sultan's a big boy, and he's definitely powerful, and he's taking it to Vader, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to hit Vader and keep on hitting him, because if you stop hitting him, then something bad's going to happen, namely, Vader's going to hit you.
Here comes the Sultan now outside the ring. Vader trying to shake the cobwebs out of his head, and he did. Here he comes down with the left and right hands. This is what Vader does best, but the Sultan rakes his eyes, and now Vader again in a little bit of trouble.
Wait a minute, looks like Sultan's rearing up and boom, right into those steel ring steps.
Vader, the All-American football player from Colorado, also played in the NFL with the Los Angeles Rams, where he earned a Super Bowl ring. Looked like he was hitting an lineman that time.
Well, he rammed those steps, but the steps didn't even put him down. This guy, he's got a tremendous balance for a man that size, and once he's up, he's hard to take off his feet.
Reversal now, Sultan into the ropes. Vader with a big clothesline, and the Sultan a 360 in the air. He's in La La Land. Vader now looks like he's going to go up to the second rope here. This could be the Vader bomb, Jim. You know this move well.
And Vader's going to bring all that weight to that 400 and some pounds down across the Sultan, and that should be it.
That is it. 3 count. Vader victorious on WWF New York. The Mastodon, the 458-pounder, match at WWF Bad Blood.
Wins for their country.
Approaching the ring, accompanied by Uncle Cletus from Phineas, Arkansas, at a total combined weight of 583 pounds, Henry and Phineas, the Godwinn.
You think Uncle Cletus has had his shots?
I'll tell you this, he's got some interesting stains. I'm not sure whether he's been trapping or fishing or hunting or what. Speaking of flags, I'm sure that they're going to be waving their flag high in the air over this match because they're going to have to, because Patriot and Vader are going to have the crowd on their side.
54 pounds, the Patriot and the man they call Vader.
I'm sure some folks are a little bit skeptical that Vader and the Patriot will be able to peaceably coexist because, quite frankly, Vader has never peaceably coexisted with anybody in his life.
Not a single other human being, JR, has Vader ever been able to get along with. I can say this, they've got common enemies. That's their only bond. If Patriot holds up his end of the bargain, they should be all right. But if he feels, if Vader feels let down in any way, then he'll lash out against anybody.
In addition to the flag match we discussed on pay-per-view next Sunday, the Godwinns will also meet the headbangers, Thrasher and Mosh, who have become extremely popular WWF Tag Champions, and that will be for Tag Team Gold on pay-per-view next Sunday at 7 o'clock.
Well, not only have the headbangers become popular, they've also become an entirely different team with the newfound confidence of their first Tag Team Championship being the WWF Tag Team title. But don't forget, the Godwinns hold a non-title victory over the headbangers, and they're looking to repeat that when the title's on the line and it really counts.
Vader at 458 pounds, locking up with Henry Godwinn, and Henry's got to be well over 300 pounds himself. Both these guys rivaling Bill Parcells as far as girth is concerned.
Up swing and a miss, the thumb in the eye.
That's a pretty good counter move. Thumb to the eye, one of the favorite holds of Cactus Jack, who made his Madison Square Garden debut this past Monday night in that Falls Count Anywhere, Falls Count Anywhere matchup. And what a clothesline by big old Hank Godwinn, knocking down Vader.
Boy, and you can safely say that Madison Square Garden's seen a lot, but they have never seen some of the things they saw from Cactus Jack. It was unbelievable.
Henry Godwinn is relentless in his attack, a physical attack on the man they call Vader, and Henry tags in his brother Phineas. Ooh, now I hear that Uncle Cletus is not only their uncle, but their first cousin. And if any of you folks out there in New York City can figure that one out, somebody just drop us a card and let us know how that works.
Well, it's real easy. You see, I've been involved in that situation before. Now,
there's
what
a
happened?
tag, never mind. The genealogy lesson from our resident historian.
Just trying to help.
Well, they can write for your newsletter or something. The Patriot in, knocking down Phineas, and Phineas makes a counter, but it's countered back into a hip lock by the Patriot, going upstairs with a drop kick. And the former All-Japan Wrestling star, the former All-American offensive lineman at South Carolina, building an advantage here. You know he's the biggest gamecock of them all.
And Patriot now, he is cooking outside. And wait a minute, he's a one-man gang. He's fighting off both Henry and Phineas, the whole Godwinn family. And I'll tell you something, JR, talking about family and family values, the Goldust and Marlena family at Bad Blood's going to be a little bit different twist. Dude Love is going to take on Brian Pillman. If Dude Love beats Pillman, then Pillman will have to face Goldust in a no DQ match immediately afterwards, and Goldust will be handcuffed to the ring post while the Dudester and Pillman go at it.
And I got to believe that Dude Love is going to rise to the occasion, as he always does on pay-per-view, and take care of Brian Pillman. Hey, that's a pretty good counter by Phineas Godwinn. You know, the interesting thing about that situation with Dude Love and Pillman next Sunday on pay-per-view is that if Dude does win the matchup, and I suspect he will, Goldust will then face Pillman immediately in a anything-goes, no disqualification fight.
No delay, no rest. They're going to jump in the ring right then and go at it. And I tell you, I got to wonder who Marlena's going to be rooting for. I mean, this is starting to get complicated.
Well, I think she's going to be rooting for her husband.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pillman has done a lot for her. He's done some makeovers on her Jenny Jones couldn't touch with a 15-foot pole.
Well, I don't find it very nice that Marlena's been forced to succumb to that psychotic madman, Brian Pillman's whims, you know, pierce this body part and get another tattoo. And I mean, she's going to be marked for life after this experience.
Both mentally and physically, but she's looking like a fine, upstanding young lady. And right now, speaking of fine and upstanding, the most upstanding citizens of Bitters, Arkansas are doing a number on America's #1 Patriot.
The Patriot now fighting back, landing those blows to the midsection of Phineas, Godwinn, and Phineas raking the face again.
You can't hardly miss Phineas's midsection, but it seems to be able to absorb a lot of punishment.
Pretty good jawbreaker there. May put the knot on the old noggin of Phineas Godwinn. In any event, the Godwinns have the advantage.
And wait a minute now, what's Henry doing? Oh, the stars and bars coming into play and into very good use here as the Patriot fighting for air.
Well, that stars and bars is offensive anyway. The Godwinns' odor is offensive. And the actions recently of Uncle Cletus is offensive. And I'm offended. There's a lateral press.
Well, don't offend me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Offended.
Now on the WWF Superstar line, will Vince McMahon fire Stone Cold Steve Austin? Call option 3 of the Ross Report and find out why JR thinks Vince will fire Stone Cold. Just call 1-900-7374-WWF. The call costs $1.49 per minute. Kids under 18 must have parents' permission before calling.
Welcome back, everybody, to WWF New York. It's the Patriot and Vader meeting the Godwinns. The Patriot just knocked down with that knee to the midsection by big Phineas Godwinn. And Phineas makes the tag to Henry. Boy, we have seen some intense action in this. And when you talk about intensity, you got to wonder how intense will it be when Vince McMahon calls out Stone Cold Steve Austin this Monday night on Raw. And Austin very well could be fired this Monday night, and that would be the last time that we would see Stone Cold Steve Austin in the WWF. And if that is the case, James E., what do you think Austin's answer to Vince McMahon's going to be?
Well, McMahon tried to help him, and he dropped him on his head, so I have to think, JR, as I told you privately, Steve Austin will whoop Vince McMahon's hind keister if he gets fired on national television.
Another big matchup this Monday night on Raw will be a semifinal match in the Intercontinental title tournament. Ahmed Johnson and Faarooq will determine who will meet Owen Hart in the finals. That'll be this Monday, that semifinal matchup on Raw. Sunset flip, is that no? Referee was detained about a second, maybe two, and long enough for Phineas Godwinn to regroup, shall we say.
And Faarooq's got new life in the tournament because Ken Shamrock defeated him to advance, but Shamrock suffered a torn lung, internal injuries, and could not continue, so Faarooq was named as his replacement.
Yeah, and I don't know how sound a decision that Commissioner Slaughter made on that one. You know, some folks are speculating that Slaughter's getting a little intoxicated with the power of his position.
Hey, JR, it's the same rules that they use in the Ultimate Fights, therefore Shamrock ought to be used to it. He's benefited from that ruling in the past. Now he's penalized by it. He's got no room to break.
You know, James E., another thing I heard about this Monday's Raw broadcast is the fact that Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley have requested some interview time, and I hear they got a lot they want to get off their chest.
Well, I would imagine they do. They've got everybody in the world mad at them. They've got the Hart Foundation mad at them. They've got the Undertaker mad at them. They've got everybody all upset with their actions and their controversial outspokenness.
Phineas deviated from his game plan, went upstairs, now goes downstairs. Vader's got the tag, and Vader is just rocking and rolling here.
He's got Cletus. He's got Uncle Cletus. Stop. No. Oh, they stopped short. Thank goodness.
Oh, Uncle Cletus just got knocked off the apron. Look at Vader, absolutely dominant. Oh, listen to this crowd.
He's going for it.
Vader bomb.
He got
the
it.
Vader bomb, and that's over. If nobody gets up from the Vader bomb.
Here are your winners, the
Vader and Patriot JR on a roll, ready to go to Bad Blood.
What a matchup it will be on pay-per-view next Sunday at 7 o'clock as we take another look at the Vader bomb.
450 pounds across Mr. Godwinn. Nobody gets up from it. But will Vader and the Patriot be able to wave Old Glory in the flag match next Sunday?
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us this Monday night on Raw. For James E. Cornette, I'm Jim Ross. So long, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to WWF New York. Kevin Kelly and Jim Cornette ringside.
following contest is scheduled for one weighing 275 pounds, Faarooq.
Hey, Kevin, how come JR gets a vacation and I still got to be here?
Wait a minute, you had Turkey Day off and I had to sit in for you.
I'm going to examine my contract and get to the bottom of this.
Take a look, Faarooq. Nation of Domination members Kama and D'Lo alongside. I'm wondering, where's The Rock?
What am I, his babysitter now? I don't know where The Rock is. The Rock shows up when The Rock wants to. Because The Rock is one for the ages. You know, Rock of Ages? Uh-oh.
Last Monday in the Warzone, Jim.
Luna sure has changed him. In case you didn't notice, that was Goldust on the left. Wearing only a trench coat, he flashed Vader. And Vader chased him out of the arena, losing to Jeff Jarrett by countout.
So welcome everyone once again to WWF New York. I'm Kevin Kelly alongside manager extraordinaire James E. Cornette. We take a look at the 458-pound mastodon Vader coming to the ring to battle Faarooq. This is going to be, Jim, a very physical confrontation.
Well, you can tell the people are ready to see it because every seat in this place is filled. They're standing on their feet. They're screaming where you can't even hear yourself think. Two great former football players. A man that wears a Super Bowl ring and a man whose jersey was retired by Florida State.
It's going to be a battle of the bulls. Let's get to the action. Vader not even waiting for the bell. Going after Faarooq. Watch out.
Don't pull Faarooq's leg, but it looks all Kama from behind. And now the nation is mugging Vader.
These two leather jacket-clad hooligans out here.
Hooligans? They're not Irish.
And now Faarooq with Vader. An early Christmas gift, if you will.
Well, these guys are going to get physical, and it's going to happen sooner than later because they're both very aggressive men. They both like to mix it up. They both like to get out there and pound their opponent.
Listen to this crowd solidly behind the Rocky Mountain Monster.
Ooh!
Wow! Scooped up 458 like no problem.
That will strain your milk.
Jim, not only the Nation of Domination got the 3-on-1 advantage with Vader, but I'm sure the big man is going to have to be watching out for Goldust at all times.
Well, boy, Luna has really transformed the artist formerly known as Goldust into something even more bizarre than we've ever seen before. This guy's out there. He makes Andy Warhol look like Pope Paul.
Of course, The Rock, Rocky Maivia, somewhat conspicuous by his absence. Ooh, Vader firing back now, clubbing forearm out of the corner.
Vader's going to have to create his openings, and he's doing just that, a flurry of offensive punches, but he's going to have to be looking over his shoulder for the nation, and there comes Kama again.
Faarooq on the receiving end of a flurry of rights and lefts.
Oh! Well, that one was straight down the middle.
So now Vader down once again. Of course, as I mentioned, The Rock not here at ringside. I wonder if The Rock is still looking for his Intercontinental title. We'll tell you more about that situation, show you what happened this past Monday on Raw regarding Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Intercontinental title.
And that belt is still in the possession, evidently, of Steve Austin, because like you mentioned, Rocky doesn't have it.
Plus, also later on, we'll give you details on how you could win Stone Cold Steve Austin's truck. Jim, the same truck that the Nation of Domination was victimized by at D-Generation X in your house.
That's right, I understand it's going to be repaired first. Thank goodness.
Vader with the counter. The Rock has arrived.
Look at that swagger. This guy is just dripping with confidence. Oozing, if you will.
And The Rock quickly introducing himself to Vader. It's now 4-on-1 against the big Rocky Mountain Monster. The odds are against Vader. This match continues.
Experience the deafening thunder that is Vader. The dementia that is the deranged mankind. The haunting mystery that is the Undertaker. And the unrelenting rage that is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Experience WWF The Music Volume 2. There are 15 of your favorite WWF original jams in all. To order, call 815-734-1161 or send a check or money order to the address on your screen. It's only $20 for the CD. This album is available in stores, but why delay? Get yours now. WWF The Music Volume 2.
We are back on WWF New York. Vader is in a lot of trouble. The Rock has introduced himself to this matchup. Lava now.
Thomas got that leather belt right around Vader's throat, and he is choking him for all he's worth. Vader has to contend with the Nation of Domination outside the ring, Faarooq inside the ring, and the specter of Goldust and his Howard Stern impersonation, revealing his private parts, is still very much in the air, so to speak.
Looming on the horizon at all times. And now, with Faarooq in control, the Rock on the outside, of course, Rocky Maivia is indeed the Intercontinental Champion. Take a look at him there, but he does not have the belt. The Stone Cold Steve Austin situation regarding the Intercontinental title needs some clearing up. We'll show you what happened later on. Look at the strength and power of Vader.
Oh, timber! Like a big redwood. Vader has created an opening.
It's desperation time, I think, though, for the 458-pound Vader.
And too late. Nobody home. Faarooq managed to move out of the way. That's the one thing that Vader does not possess, is extraordinary speed. He's quick for his size, but Faarooq is a man over 100 pounds lighter.
Folks, later on in the broadcast, we will have a visit. The man from the dark side, the Undertaker, will be here in action. Plus, we will also give you all the information about the big Raw is War event coming to the Nassau Coliseum on December 29th. Time is ticking away, folks, before that big event invades Uniondale.
Well, referee Mike Chota checking Vader. I don't think he's going to give it up. As a matter of fact, I know he's not going to give it up, but Faarooq is still wearing him down. Whoa!
Straight right hand to the eye.
Oh, another, and another.
Head of steam off the ropes, buries it into the midsection. Perhaps another window of opportunity for Vader. He has been unable to capitalize on some small openings before, but perhaps now he can finally mount some offense.
Well, he's had everybody on his back. But you hear the people, Vader, Vader. Oh!
Everyone on his back, but the people on his side.
And oh, that one was dangerously low.
The lower midsection, Vader with a crunching elbow. And now, Faarooq in a world of hurt, slid over to the corner.
Vader setting up for the Vader bomb, it looks like.
Looks like a lot of troop movement down on the floor, Jim, with the Nation.
Thomas up.
Rocky.
Oh!
Oh!
2, 3, yes! Can you believe it?
Unbelievable. Rocky Maivia thought he was helping the situation. He might have cost him the match.
Rocky Maivia pickled Vader right in the face with that right hand, but it knocked him off the ropes on top of Faarooq.
Having a little huddle here. I'm not so sure Faarooq appreciates Rock's efforts.
Thanks for the help. If I need friends like you, I don't need friends, right?
Vader overcame the odds.
And all is forgiven. Isn't that sweet?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring, accompanied by Savio from Buffalo, New York, weighing 235 pounds, Marvelous Marc Mero.
Wait a minute. Hey, Marc! The ring's over here! I think he's lost again. Well, I don't understand this. Mero disrespecting Sable, apparently dispatching her back to the locker room area. What? He wants all the spotlight, he wants all the attention on him. Mero has been so jealous of everyone's attention to Sable. Oh yeah, in your dreams, pal, like that guy. Let's take a look at what happened just this past Monday. Tom Brady with an impressive victory on Raw, but Marc Mero couldn't leave it late. Mero is still jealous
jealous over the attention that Brandy had paid to Sable. And Marc Mero comes in and does a little Tennessee two-step on Tom Brandy after hitting him with that colada.
Of course, Brandy, formerly known as Sal Sincere. And here comes the Rocky Mountain Monster.
Weighing 458 pounds, the man they call Vader!
The man they call Vader on a collision course with the artist formerly known as Goldust. That one-on-one matchup will finally take place on January the 18th at the Royal Rumble.
Boy, ever since Goldust, well, he took off, he left his family, then he turned his back on his country and his team at Survivor Series, and Vader is the man that he refused to tag. The bad feelings have grown ever since, and Goldust has done a lot of things to Vader that Vader's anxious to get even for. At the Royal Rumble, he finally has his chance.
Indeed, it could be Vader time in this next matchup with marvelous Marc Mero. And without Sable at ringside, of course, you can see more of Sable in the next edition of the Raw magazine, which, by the way, is going monthly. A special swimsuit edition available on December the 30th. 2 different collector's edition covers featuring Sable and her pal Sonny.
And I've seen the advanced copies of those issues, and you can't see much more of Sable and Sonny, believe me.
Vader at 458. One of the most intimidating, powerful men to ever compete in the WWF. And Marc Mero is still looking to ascend to main event status, and he's having to do it in Sable's shadow, as you can hear.
Well, Mero is going to have to figure out some way to climb this mountain, because Vader has a tremendous weight advantage and a tremendous power advantage. And the only advantage that Mero has here that I see is his quickness. He's going to have to use it.
Vader and Mero both will be a part of the next live WWF event in Madison Square Garden on Saturday night, January the 10th. As a matter of fact, Mero will meet the big Italian Tom Brandy at MSG Saturday night, January the 10th. And again, tickets are available at the Garden box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. And Mero using those boxing skills to go downstairs, those body shots on Vader, who reverses the Irish whip. Oh! And Vader, with that 458 pounds of mass, just knocked down the marvelous one.
Well, that's the way to get to the bottom of things right there. And there's Mero's quickness. He's going to have to keep it up, because hitting Vader with punches is like trying to punch a brick wall.
Mero now up very quickly, sticking and moving, chucking and jiving, shaking and baking. My God, I sound like Walt Frazier.
JR, my question to you at this time is simply this: who is Walt Frazier?
Aren't you a Knicks fan? I guess not. Well, not many people here are fans of marvelous Marc Mero either. Vader down on one knee, and Mero coming right back. Well, a right cross and then a rake to the eyes. Mero doing very little wrestling here.
Somebody ought to remind the referee of that.
Those clenched fists are illegal. And downstairs again, Mero on his bigger, perhaps even tougher adversary, the man they call Vader.
Well, he hadn't got Vader off his feet yet, and it doesn't look like, oh, wait a minute, there is Sable watching TV. It's good she has cable in the locker room.
Sable was summarily dismissed from the ringside area by her jealous, marvelous Marc Mero. And now Mero's going to climb the ladder here, James.
He finally got Vader to crumple to one knee. He's been punishing the kidneys and the ribs, and boom, there he goes. He's down.
Double axe by Mero, going for a cover, and Vader kicks out with great authority.
And Mero better stay on top of Vader, because if he gives him any chance, any opening, any air, and he just did.
Vader now hammering away at marvelous Marc. Vader using those right hands, and Vader talking some trash to the marvelous one, and Mero comes right back and rakes the eyes.
And Mero, now this is not a smart thing
This is fairly unintelligent.
Mero couldn't get Vader up and over with a forklift. And there's a suplex. Vader counters, and Tom Brandy is watching this match, maybe doing a little scouting.
Boy, those Italians, they'll get you every time.
As we mentioned, Mero and Brandy at Madison Square Garden on January the 10th. And a knockdown. Vader, that clothesline.
I wonder who Sable's cheering for. I wonder whose corner Sable will be in at the Garden. I bet she's winking at
Brandy.
Brandy.
There's a big splash. This one's over. And wait. Good Lord, look at that.
What in the name of...
Happy holidays to everybody from the artist formerly known as Goldust and his little love interest, Luna.
And what does that little hat say on his head? I'm free? You couldn't charge for that.
Can you imagine what Goldust, I guess soon-to-be ex-wife Marlena, and his family must be thinking here at the holiday season?
I can't imagine what his daddy must be thinking right
Oh,
now.
good Lord! A blatant low blow of Delata, perhaps out of desperation for Mero, and another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout as a result of a disqualification, the man they call Vader.
Vader distracted by Goldust and Luna. Mero goes downstairs twice, and now look at Goldust hammer away at the man they call Vader.
My God, Goldust has a run in his stocking.
Good grief, why would you be looking there? And a knockdown.
He is on Vader, and Luna is running around like a screaming banshee. Look at that cast.
Goldust has never been more bizarre. And you gotta wonder this Monday on Raw, our special holiday edition, what Goldust and his little Luna are going to be wearing and what they're going to be up to this Monday.
Luna looks like a schoolgirl from Star Trek. Look at that.
Folks, oh my, what else is going to happen here? We'll be right back.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Shotgun and a Happy New Year, everybody.
Scheduled for one fall, the 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 458 pounds, the man they call Vader.
Listen to this response from this crowd for the man they call Vader. Any New Year's resolutions, Double K?
Just one, to always wear a cup whenever I do interviews, especially when Marvelous Marc Mero's around.
Yeah, your voice a few octaves higher this week.
All right. We're going to talk about that situation between Marc Mero, Tom Brandy, and Sable. Plus, we'll also show you what happened between Kane and The Undertaker this past week on Raw.
Hello again, everybody. It's Vader time. It's Shotgun time. Welcome to Shotgun. Michael Cole, Kevin Kelly. What a show this week. Vader to kick things off. But, Devin, we also have the Shotgun debut of Jeff Jarrett.
I'll be very interested to see what Jeff Jarrett brings to the squared circle, the man who claims to be the world's greatest wrestler. Michael, Mickey says it's time to go to the action.
Vader set to lock up this week with Julio Sanchez. I wonder what the Mastodon's New Year's resolution is.
Michael, I can bet it's settle things with Goldust once and for all. And don't be surprised if the man they call Vader throws his name into the hat for the 30-man Royal Rumble over the top rope Battle Royal.
We know the artist formerly known as Goldust will be involved in that Battle Royal. He'll also meet Vader at the Royal Rumble January 18th in San Jose. Stone Cold Steve Austin also involved in the Royal Rumble, as is Ken Shamrock, the winner to get a shot at the WWF champion at WrestleMania. But what about the situation this past week on Raw involving Stone Cold and Goldust?
Certainly not the way that Goldust envisioned his baby New Year outfit to be decorated. Sort of the residue from a porta potty, you could call it, from a construction site, a portable toilet, if you will.
Vader tossing Julio Sanchez across the ring. Speaking of Stone Cold Steve Austin, have a pen and paper ready, folks, because later on in the broadcast, we're going to have all the details on how you can win Stone Cold pickup trucks. So stay tuned.
And, Michael, we will also have later on in the broadcast more names to announce of men who have signed for the Royal Rumble, plus more on the story involving Mike Tyson and the World Wrestling Federation. More on that later on in the hour.
Here's Vader now, Mike Tyson-like with those big right hands, knocking Julio Sanchez to the mat.
I'll tell you what, this Julio Sanchez is a tough customer. We've seen him before, very agile, very quick, but giving up a tremendous amount of weight to Vader.
The 456-pound mastodon from the Rocky Mountains lifts Sanchez up over onto his shoulder. What's he going to do here? Sanchez, I think, is in a lot of trouble. Look at the strength of Vader.
Extends the arms and launches Sanchez down to the canvas. I'll be very interested to see what Jeff Jarrett brings to the squared circle a little later on. So much talk and so little action. Oh, the man from Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Vader with a big splash into the midsection that time of Julio Sanchez. The Mastodon really focused, looking forward to January 18th at the Royal Rumble. Do you think he's finally going to end things with Goldust, settle that feud?
Oh, certainly. Vader is thinking about nothing but Goldust, Goldust, Goldust. Can't wait to get to the Royal Rumble. January 18th, it's just 2 weeks away, folks. Live on pay-per-view. And I think Vader is set to end things here with Julio.
Where's Vader going to go now? Heading up to the second rope. The Mastodon, the man they call Vader. What's he going to do here? Oh, the Vader bomb. Man. This should do it. Vader could pin Sanchez right here, but it looks like he's going to go up to the ropes again.
Oh, if he's planning to do what I think he's planning to do, they're going to need to take Julio Sanchez out of here with a mop.
Vader on the second rope again. Listen to this crowd really behind the Mastodon.
They're begging for him to go to the top. He's going to do it.
Vader on the top rope now.
No! Look out! A moonsault!
Good night, Mr. Sanchez. It's over. Vader victorious.
The most devastating combination of agility and size in wrestling today. There is only one Vader, and he is here in the World Wrestling Federation.
Can you imagine 456 pounds from the top rope in a moonsault onto Julio Sanchez? What elevation.
And don't you think the artist formerly known as Goldust is seeing visions of Vader dancing through his head? It could happen 2 weeks on pay-per-view at the Royal Rumble.
Time! It's time! It's Vader time!
Listen to this response for the Mastodon. And he is boogieing this week.
It's scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. About to come down the aisle from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 458 pounds, the man they call Vader.
You got to give it up for Vader. After the loss to Kane, he admitted Kane was the better man. And I know that the heat of the moment, the emotion of the situation, caught Vader perhaps unprepared. But some revealing honesty from the big man. And I think with the air cleared, perhaps now in Vader's mind, it's almost a rebirth, a renaissance. I bet it's going to start right here on Shotgun.
Vader admitting in an interview after the matchup that perhaps he needs to get in a bit better shape. As you mentioned before, the bar is being raised here in the World Wrestling Federation. You have to be at your very best. And the fans have not forgotten. They are behind Vader this week on Shotgun.
Well, it used to be in the World Wrestling Federation, Michael, a man like Vader was the giant. At 458 pounds would be the biggest man walking. But when you've got guys like Kane and Kurgan and the largest man in the world in the parade of human oddities, men like Vader seem almost commonplace.
And Vader now hammering away on Rex Royal. And over the edge, as Kevin mentioned, Vader lost to Kane. He took off the mask, and we got an opportunity to see that hideous scar after what happened at the February in your house at the hands of Kane with that wrench.
Testament to Vader's toughness, coming back way ahead of schedule, according to his doctors.
Mastodon! Knocking down Rex Royal.
You know, it's almost like in college football. If a #1 team, say, is upset, they're going to come out the next week and they're going to really lay a hurting on whoever that opponent is. That, unfortunately, in this situation, is Rex Royal.
Vader now setting up Royal. Oh, my. Vader thought he was going to go for the cover there. Maybe he's going to pull him over and send him up for the Vader bomb.
It's as if there's a giant bullseye on the center of the ring.
Listen to these fans.
And one of the biggest bulls of them all is going up top.
The Mastodon from the second rope. Look out. It's Aunt Jemima time. Wow. Was going to cover him up there, only one. And Vader says no way.
What are you kidding? He's just starting to have fun.
A new attitude.
He's feeling it.
Oh, the big man.
This is like the Vader of old. Look out below!
Oh! That'll be it. Covers him up. Vader. An easy win on Shotgun.
Here is your winner, the man they call Vader.
Talk about Vader looking good. What about Ken Shamrock? Ken Shamrock returned, and we'll see him this week on Raw. But what a big win for that man, Vader.
And folks, plenty more still to come on Shotgun.
I don't think the World Wrestling Federation or Mankind will ever
never be the same.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing Marc from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 458 pounds, the man they call Vader.
Once again, thanks for joining us here this week on Shotgun. Kevin Kelly alongside Tom Pritchard. We're looking at an absolute house in the form of Vader. Getting set to take on Frank Stiletto. But a quick note on Hell in a Cell. I don't think we're ever going to see, hopefully we'll never see again, the brutality that took place inside and outside Hell in a Cell.
Well, it's amazing Mankind is walking, much less breathing.
Certainly is. I had a brief conversation with Mankind. Basically lost consciousness through the end part of that contest. Fans, if you didn't see Hell in a Cell in its completion at King of the Ring, you're going to have to wait for the home video because it's never going to be shown in WWF programming.
Going to my library.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, the King of the Ring was a classic. And I think Vader is going to look to write a short story here this week against Frank Stiletto on Shotgun. Had a brief conversation with Vader before his contest. And he says the meter is running, and he's going to make it quick.
Well, I've watched Vader train for the last couple of weeks, ever since his match with Kane, and he has really gotten into some kind of shape, and he wants to prove it to everyone here in the World Wrestling Federation, officials, as well as morons like you.
Well, Bradshaw is going to be next on Vader's hit parade this Monday on Raw. Misses with the clothesline.
Oh,
Stiletto
man!
runs right into a brick wall. Certainly Bradshaw was very impressive this past week on Raw in the Brawl for All tournament. He advanced to the next round, defeating Marc Canterbury, former Henry Godwinn, and oh, wow!
Big power bomb by Vader. I don't think this kid's going to get up.
And of course, we also saw Steve Blackman defeat Marc Mero in a match that really proved to me that a superior wrestler can defeat a boxer. That's going to be something to think about for the rest of the Brawl for All tournament, which will have its completion at SummerSlam. And it is time, it is time, it is Vader bomb time. Look down below. 2 and 3, you can drop the hammer on the meter, because this one is over. So Vader heads to Raw this week where he'll battle Bradshaw. Vader time looking great here on Shotgun.
It's an hour-long WWF Summer Series special. Check it out, 7 o'clock, 6 Central on USA. Next Sunday they debut, Sunday Night Heat. Told you your thermostat was going to rise. And speaking of Sunday Night Heat, what about this Sunday night? Fully loaded, bikini time.
Yeah, temperatures are rising, and clothes could be getting shredded. Bikinis could be going all kinds of directions, because it's going to get physical, I got a feeling, in that bikini contest between Sable and Jacqueline.
This should be great. Mark Henry with the mic.
I am the world's strongest man, and I challenge anybody in this arena and in that locker room.
Talking about you. Get up there.
Come on, Michael Cole.
To come in here and have a test of strength with me. You come out here and get some of this whooping.
The pipe cleaners you got sporting for arms, I think, could do some damage.
So who is going to accept the challenge, if anyone, of the world's strongest man?
I got a feeling I know who it's going to be.
Here, listen to this crowd. Uh-oh.
What was Mark Henry thinking?
2 400-pounders are going to lock it up in a tug-of-war. In fact, these 2 400-pounders will lock it up Sunday night and fully loaded.
The Rocky Mountains, the man they call Vader.
Oh, we're going to get a preview of the Battle of the Bulls that'll take place in Fully Loaded. We're going to tie them up to ropes and we're going to have a tug-of-war.
I'll tell you what, if the crowd at Fully Loaded is as jacked as this crowd is this weekend, it's going to be a fun time in Northern California.
I'm telling you what, everywhere the World Wrestling Federation is headed is totally pumped, totally jacked up. This Monday, Raw will be live from the Pond in Anaheim.
Sold out, baby.
Sold out. Then we go Tuesday to San Diego. Can't wait to get to the San Diego Sports Arena. 40 WWF superstars, the Titantron, the cameras, the whole spectacle that is Raw will be in San Diego. Diego this Tuesday.
Yeah, tickets are still available, folks, but get them now. They are flying out the window.
And with all WWF live events, tickets are available online, WWF.com. You can order your tickets right from your home PC.
And listen to the reaction for Vader.
And listen to the reaction for Mark Henry. Oh, not as positive.
Sort of like when me and you stand in the ring.
That's right. I get cheered, you get cheered.
So the Mastodon Vader will lock it up with Mark Henry in a tug of war. Don't forget, fully loaded in your house. These two will meet Battle of the Bulls. Also, Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock. Dungeon match.
For the first time ever, our cameras will venture into the dungeon in Stu Hart's home in Calgary. We're going to witness perhaps a horrifying scene, Michael. What's going to happen when Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock are locked in the dungeon?
Yeah, Shamrock stepping into enemy territory. The special guest referee, Dan Severn. Whose side's he on? Is he going to call this thing down the middle?
From what I've been told, the Beast is going to call it right down the middle. He's going to call it as he sees it.
Yeah, but what about this past week on Raw? Ken Shamrock, Severn came out to the ring to help out Steve Blackman. After the match, Owen Hart ambushed Shamrock, threw him into the stairs. Dan Severn walked by Shamrock, looked at him, fixed his tie, didn't even offer a helping hand, just shrugged his shoulders and walked by.
Well, he wasn't dressed. I mean, he had a suit and tie on.
Wasn't dressed. He could have went over and seen if the guy was okay.
Maybe he went back to see what was the story with Owen.
It doesn't matter. I want to know what's going to happen at the Hart family dungeon. I'll tell you what.
Maybe Dan Severn was checking on his plane reservations for Calgary.
Yeah, he might have. And here we go now with Vader and Mark Henry set to lock it up in a tug of war. Tape in the middle of the ring. The referee, Mike Chota, set to start things off.
And it better be a strong rope.
And I'll tell you what, first flag over the line will mean that you lose. So if Henry's flag goes over that line, if Vader pulls it over, Vader will be victorious. Listen to the crowd.
You got to give the strength advantage, I guess, on paper.
Look at this, Vader drawing first blood here. He's moving Henry.
You got to give the advantage on paper to Mark Henry, but the crowd is really seeming to fire up Vader.
Yeah, but tug of war, strength in the legs as much as the arms. Vader, a former football player, a lineman, really has those strong legs, used to balance on his feet. Could be interesting.
Look at the tension in the lower half of Mark Henry. He is really straining, and he's got Vader on the move. Vader's got to reestablish his solid base.
Vader in trouble now, and here he comes. Moving Mark Henry now closer to the line. This would be a huge upset for Vader. The world's strongest man in trouble. And now Henry sinks in, and look out, it's over. Mark Henry has defeated Vader.
Look like Vader got caught up in that rope a little bit.
Winner, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
So what is going to happen at Fully Loaded when these two behemoths go at it?
I bet Mark Henry's got the momentum advantage.
Fans don't like it too much.
Mark Henry improving each and every day here in the World Wrestling Federation.
Look out, Henry now in Vader's face.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's rub it in.
Oh my, here comes Vader now. Henry the way with the rights and lefts. Henry whipped across the ring. Oh my!
A near 900-pound collision.
Oh no!
Where's he
He's
going?
not going to climb the rope.
Oh.
Vader, second rope. Oh my! The Vader bomb. First blood drawn for Fully Loaded. Hello everybody and welcome to Shotgun. What a reaction for the man they call Vader.
With a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from the Rocky Mountains, weighing 456 pounds, the man we call Vader.
And what an hour it's going to be here on Shotgun, Michael. We got a lot of business to tend to, so none of your tomfoolery. Don't be trying to buddy up to me this week either.
Hello again, everybody. Michael Cole along with Double K. Kevin Kelly getting set for action here at Vader versus Jesus to kick things off. And what a broadcast this week. Edge will be in action. We'll revisit Jacqueline and Stable and so much more.
Wants to brawl for all as well.
It's time, all right. It is time to rev it up. SummerSlam is a week away.
And you got to know that inside the mind of Stone Cold Steve Austin, now more questions than ever before. Will the highway to hell be paved with gold or with tragedy for the Rattlesnake?
We'll take a look at that entire situation, plus speculate on what Stone Cold's future is, Michael. Just a week away from SummerSlam, I think the Rattlesnake's in real trouble.
And what's The Rock going to say about Triple H's challenge for a ladder match for the Intercontinental title?
We won't have to wait long. This Sunday on Sunday Night Heat, The Rock will respond to Triple H's challenge that he issued on the post-game show of Code Red on WWF.com for a ladder match.
What a reaction, though, to the man they call Vader. The 456-pounder from the Rocky Mountains set to do battle now with Jesus Castillo from a banged-up core of Los Boricuas.
Savio Vega down with injuries before and following the Brawl for All. Of course, we know that Jose suffered a neck injury at the hands of Edge. Miguel Perez has been nursing a bad back for quite some time, so Jesus carrying the flag here for the Boricuas.
Big right hand, then a kick to the midsection, and here's Jesus now.
And Vader sporting a nasty scratch on his arm. I wonder if he got that from Godfather's, well, you know, assembly line.
Well, here's Jesus now. Vader misses with the right hand off the ropes now, and Jesus knocked down by the big mastodon.
How's that for a nice visualization going? You got that, Vader, the three of them, you know what I'm saying?
I don't even want to think about it.
All right.
I'll tell you what, though, you mentioned Brawl for All. What about the finals of Brawl for All coming up this Monday when Raw is War live from Philadelphia?
Bart Gunn and Bradshaw. We're going to be slugging it out this Monday, folks. The Brawl for All final will show you how each man got there a little later on in the hour.
And here's Vader now hammering away on Jesus. This is a big matchup for the Mastodon. Really trying now to figure out his niche here in the World Wrestling Federation. Where does he belong? Can he gain some momentum?
Well, I think Vader's momentum is basically his weight. The man has struggled with weight problems here recently in the World Wrestling Federation. When you come back off the injured list as an athlete, sometimes to try to get back in prime fighting condition is the toughest battle of all. That's what Vader has been battling over the past couple of months. I think he's finally turned the corner.
Jesus now whips into the corner. Vader follows it up.
I'm telling you, Vader is dominating. He is looking awesome this week.
Big old freight train running into Jesus in the corner, folks. Plenty of show to show you this week. It's going to be unreal. As I mentioned before, Edge is in action. We're also going to talk about Undertaker and Kane, and listen to this reaction. Vader bringing him up and slamming him down.
The powerbomb.
Vader now off the ropes, and there's a big old splash. Here's the cover now. There's two, and Vader says, not this time.
Vader's having some fun in there, making it look easy with the double tough veteran, Jesus. We got huge announcement, folks, about Raw Live this Monday, including China and Shamrock and Sever. Announcements later on in the hour that you will not believe.
And Vader going up now to the second rope. Could it be Vader bomb time? Jesus in trouble. Here it comes now. Got him. Do you feel that? This should be it. Hooks the leg. It's over. The Mastodon victorious to kick off Shotgun.
Here is your winner, the man we call Vader.
What a win for the Mastodon. The man they call Vader. Great reaction from these fans this week, but let's take a look at how he did it, Kevin.
Vader got there with sheer strength and power, finishing Jesus off with the Vader bomb. Mastodon made it look easy.
Can you believe, Kevin, we're just a week away from SummerSlam? With more information on the big event, here's Doc in Slam Jam.